Hey guys, welcome to Breakdown to Breakthrough. And today we're going to talk about growing versus scaling. And I want to start out by saying no matter if you're just starting your business, if you've been in business a couple years, or if you have been in business for quite some time and seen a lot of success, scaling can be important for anyone in any step of your business. Now, as an entrepreneur, you probably started off in one or two buckets. Either one, you got everything that you thought that you needed from a system, process, team, methodology, strategy standpoint, and then you said, "Hey world, I'm here." Or you kind of went with the flow and built as you went. So things might kind of be thrown together. You might have duct tape some systems together. You might even be finding yourself in a position where you're replicating activities and wasting some time, to be honest, doing things in multiple places that you don't need to, right? And scaling is all about taking a step back and determining what is it that you need to streamline, what is it that you need to completely scrap, and what is it that you can delegate, right? And the whole purpose of scaling is actually the foundation for growth. And in order to actually experience sustainable and fun growth in your business, you do need to make sure that you have those right strategies, policies, processes, procedures, systems, you name it, in place, and essentially find yourself doing more with what you have so you can step back in your business and you can do the things that you actually enjoy doing because your business is working for you and you're not working for your business, right? So again, we're going to talk today about the difference between growth and scaling. And most people do confuse the two. And even though they have the same, general meaning, right? Expanding your revenue, right? Expanding your profit. They're actually two different things. Now, when your business is growing, you're increasing revenue, you're increasing your market share, you're increasing the people on your team, you're increasing the clients that come in. But meanwhile, your expenses tend to grow at the same rate, right? And sometimes they can even more. So that's the external reality. Now, the internal reality, again, is that the stress levels, the drama of your day to day operations with your team are also through the roof, right? Because you're growing, you're getting bigger, you're expanding, you're constantly adding on top of things. And this can lead to ultimately less time spent with your family and less time doing things that really matter either to you personally, professionally, or in your business, right? So a lot of the time, growing a business can be hard, right? Nobody said it was going to be easy. But scaling is a whole different story, right? Not to say that it's not as hard, but it actually is going to allow you to build more of a sustainable foundation so that you can grow on top of it. Now, when you're scaling, your revenue is growing, but it's growing at a much faster rate than your expenses. And that gives you the cash and the resources to help you fund and support your increased business, right? You're going to have the opportunity to hire the right team, invest in the right tools and the resources, and you're not going to be slapping things together like you might have been up to this point, right? You're going to be able to afford more than you could before. You're going to reduce that operational drama. And when you're scaling, you can actually do it while still having a life, right? So those are the main differences between the two. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper on growth. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about scale. And then we'll discuss kind of which one might be better for you, right? Because every business is different. So a little bit more on growth, right? Nearly every business owner is going to want to see their revenue grow, right? On the surface, growth indicates that you've built a successful company, and that feels amazing, right? However, growing for the sake of growing is a super small game, and it's not going to be a sustainable business model. And in order to get bigger, you cannot think small. So if the only way that you can make more money is to sell and deliver more of your products or services, then you're eventually going to hit some type of tipping point. You're going to hit your ceiling, and you're not going to know how to get past that mark that you've created for yourself. You're essentially going to max out the amount of business that you can accept, given your available resources, right? There's going to be eventually some type of tipping point, some type of imbalance. And when this happens, you're going to find yourself in a position of having two choices, right? You can stay a small business and you can work insanely crazy hours and potentially sacrificing your mental health, your profits, the quality of service that you deliver, or having to find yourself in a position where you're turning customers away, right? Or you might have to adjust your pricing models or consider hiring more people and investing in other resources that you continue to grow and build on to those resources as your revenue is growing. So that's what I mean. By adding resources, your costs are going to go up and your profits are going to go down, at least temporarily, until you ramp up the sales and begin adding revenue to cover those extra costs, right? Now, sometimes a business owner's only motivation is to achieve a certain level of income so that they and their team members can live comfortable lives. And this is perfectly acceptable if you're comfortable repeating the cycle of adding resources at the pace with your growth. Totally up to you. But professional services and organizations where the primary resource or primary source of revenue comes from selling labor, work, service providers, coaching, going out and performing services, tasks for people. They're a common example of this. And if they don't find a way to scale that growth, the only way that they can is to take on more clients so that the cycle continues, right? But you need to also continue to add to your team. So you're essentially breaking even. Now, most growth-minded entrepreneurs, they have bigger ambitions, right? They want to build a business that's going to grow in value, and then they can eventually, I don't know, cash out and pursue their other goals, right? Some entrepreneurs, they need to understand growth and scaling and adopt growth strategies that are going to result in a successfully scaled business, right? It's going to improve their ability to earn a profit and command a good price when they're ready to pursue an exit. Now, let's talk a little bit more about scaling though. Now, scaling a business means that you're growing your revenues and increasing your profit margins at the same time by finding ways to be more efficient, which is one of my favorite words, right? It's essentially doing more with what you have. It's working smarter, not harder. And this empowers you to continue adding customers, delivering the same level of services without seeing a lot of undue costs, right? But like most things that are worth pursuing, scaling a business, it's not easy either. And the methods of doing this, they're going to really vary from company to company. And you're going to experience some up and downs regardless of which direction you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, this is the growth curve, right? That has achieved the scale and might look like in comparison to one that is not, right? As you earn more revenue, your costs are still going to go up, but at a slower pace because you're finding the economies of a scale, right? This leads to a higher profit margin because, of course, there's many times that when you make an investment that's going to affect your profit margins for a while, it's going to be normal and expected, right? So again, scaling is more about taking what you have, say it be a system that you have that has a really robust platform and foundation, and it allows you to do multiple things under the same umbrella. Right now, if your business is kind of pieced together, you might be, again, doing the same thing in different locations, or you're going here for one piece of information, one thing for here, you're having to connect all of the things so that you're putting yourself in a position where your business is more streamlined, but it's still kind of pieced together, and that doesn't feel good, right? So let's talk a little bit between the difference of what is better, because like I said, all businesses are different. So growing versus scaling, what is more desirable to you? Well, by now you probably know it depends on your long-term goals, right? So if you started your company because you love what you do, you enjoy the people you work with, and you just want to make a decent living, growth without scale is totally fine. If you're wanting to put yourself in a position where you do have to show up every single day, you do get joy out of that, totally grow without scaling. But there are risks, right, to such a business. So if you decide to retire, or you get ill, or you lose a big customer, or things happen in the market, then your entire company can be at risk. So just keep that in mind. But if you are in a position where you do want to build a long-term, ongoing, thriving organization that's going to provide value to its customers, employ a lot of people, and change lives, right? Change your life enough that you can actually take a step away, take some time off, completely retire, sell your business, whatever you want to do, you need to see the benefit in actually scaling your business. So if you have a business like this, then you're going to be able to grow. It's going to be sustainable. It's going to be cost effective, which is bottom line, is what we all care about outside of the services and the clients that we are serving, right? You're going to have those ups and downs, but having scaled your business, it's going to allow you to kind of weather those inevitables. And it's going to allow you the opportunity to continue to give back, be innovative, be creative, have more fun in your business, and spend a whole lot less time on the back end trying to just make things work for you. So that is it on growth and scale. I would love to know what it is that you got as far as a takeaway in this, kind of which direction that you think you're going. Share with me your long-term goals in the comments. And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. As I mentioned, mentioned, growing and scaling are two different things, but it really depends on who you are and where it is that you want to go. What I do with my clients is help them kind of take that step back, peel back the layers, break down so that they can find the breakthroughs, find the opportunities, and what they can scrap, what they can streamline, what they can delegate out so that they can spend more time working on the things that they want to do versus the things that they feel like they have to do, or the things that they have been doing that are taking way too much time and should take a whole lot less time so that they can actually put themselves out there more, serve more people, increase their revenue, and increase their efficiency to provide themselves with a business that works for them instead of them working for their business. So this is very personalized. This is very streamlined. This, again, is what I do for my clients. I will give you a roadmap, a strategy, a game plan, whatever it is that you want to call it, an instruction manual for you and your business. And we are going to strip back the layers, take a look at what it is that you need to be able to do in order to put yourself in a position that you, so that you can build a sustainable foundation and experience that growth.